from Magic Films, written by Tex Ragsdale and directed by Robert Dyke. Was released on April 28th at World Fest Houston. A comic book adaptation featuring the film's production notes was released in the same year by Caliber Comics. And Moontrap. Space Shuttle astronauts Walter Koenig, Bruce Campbell are lured to the moon by alien robots needing human parts. That's a Bruce Campbell film I have not seen. Did you know that movie, Pete? I guess I lost Pete for a second. Who else we got here? And Bruce Campbell was in the first two Maniac Cop films? Well, hell. I'm going to have to list of movies I'm going to have to watch, I guess. Awesome. Yeah, the cover was pretty good, wasn't it, King Crow? I'm sorry. Poopins. You're right. Scary. They did a good job, and Pete's right about all these old covers. They just about incorporate the majority of the film into one picture. It's awesome. Especially me being a colorist, I can appreciate it. I look at a lot of art, so I certainly can appreciate it. You seen it too, Mary? I had never seen it. Those were the days.
Let me see. Maybe I can share this with you.
Take care when leaving the station.
Oh, shopping mall. Look at that.
Screamers. They're men turned inside out. And worse, they're still alive. Screamers. Scream and scream again. Vincent Price in his 90-second thriller.
You know what, Pete? When I started coloring for Mike Anger, I should have just looked at these old covers, because I had to switch from coloring, fairies and flowers to doing more of a horror-like type coloring. And this would completely be all I needed, was to look at these covers. I never even thought about that. Look at them. Look at that top left picture. That's horror.
Scanners.
Yeah. Death to this part. Look at that face. Look at the coloring. Bam. That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the blues and the reds and the greens and everything in there.
Fuel scooping complete.
That is awesome. Scary.
Let's see what we got here. April Fool's Day. I vividly remember this one because it's that cover art just stands out.
Yeah, I know. Like the noose in her hair. I remember seeing that one, Maniac.
Maniac.
Yeah.
Maniac.
Would he walk up on people in the middle of the road at night or something? I don't remember the movie.
I don't know. Stalks New York City streets randomly searching for his prey. Ritually murdering and graphically scalping his victims, he takes their hair and clothes in his lair, which he shares with his grotesque collection of mannequins, which he costumes with his grisly trophies.
Oh, man.
Maniac. Light of the zombies, they eat the living.
You had to specify.
There's a classic right
Ah, yeah, there's a classics, right?
there. Ghost Turd Video 1, The Stuff. Yeah, The Stuff was made on a very small budget and did very well.
It's, yeah. It's amazing how some of the low budget movies hold up so well.
Well, I wouldn't say it exactly holds up, but I would say that it made money.
Yeah, Serenity Falls. Saying she's more of an Alfred Hitchcock fan. Yeah, I think I would be too. Less is more, I think was his motto.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, a movie I actually like. I think the downside to it was they should have just called the film Season of the Witch and not pinned on Halloween 3 to it.
Yeah.
The idea was to take the Halloween series and make it an anthology series to move away from Michael Myers, which was a big mistake on their part. So they did Halloween 3 Season of the Witch with the first installment in this kind of anthology idea they had.
Right.
And people were like, where the fuck is Michael Myers? People were mad.
I would imagine.
You know?
Especially calling it Halloween. You know what, I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them, but I couldn't tell you hardly anything about any of them. It's been so many years ago, and they just all sort of blur in together. Nothing really stands out for me on the Halloweens. I used to play those up at that cinema pub place I used to hang out with as a kid. It was $1 to get in, and it was usually a B flick, you know?
Yeah.
Or a horror flick. Goes towards saying happy, happy Halloween.
Spare parts. The cutting edge of medical terror.
What an awful cover.
Death Ship.
Death Ship.
Those who survive the ghost ship get off dead. Death Ship.
I was speaking of Ghost Ship, remember I was telling you that was the most horrific beginning to
Yeah, where the head's gonna come off.
Request approved. Clear for landing on docking bay 07.
What was this, a rogue bear?
From the ancient Indians comes a legend of evil, known as Kushtaka, a monstrous grizzly bear that leaves no tracks. John Evans is the mauled woodsman who engages claws in the track-down duel with the hunter becoming a hunted. Friends and family fall victim to the grizzly, and nothing seems to be able to stop it. There's one of my favorites.
Ah, I remember that.
Absolutely love the ghoulies. They're great little monsters in themselves. There was a time period when you had ghoulies and gremlins and
little creatures.
yeah, like what's the one? Hobgoblins. There was hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins?
Yeah, hobgoblins.
Landing gear deployed.
So yeah, hobgoblins. That was a B movie though. That was
Yeah.
spoofed by Mystery Science Theater. King Crow. Oh yeah, and Critters. Absolutely, Critters. I loved Critters as a kid. I thought it was great. Critters 2, great movie. I saw those when I was fairly young too, so I don't know how that got away with that. But they were probably rated PG-13. I don't know if there were R ratings at that time.
Yeah, Mary's asking about the Leprechaun movies. Or little creatures, small creatures, smaller, like trolls. Did you like those Leprechaun movies?
I like the first one.
Yeah, little creatures are creepy. Like Child's Play. The most, you know, a little girl's favorite toy, dolls, turned evil. Survival Zone. Toddy's back in the day. Toddy's? Critters was a bomb. Ghost Turd Sand.
Oh, adorable. Cat's eyes with that goblin. What are you doing, Fed? Get in here.
I think he was returning some movies or something, he said in a chat earlier.
Returning some movies. Where? To 1996?
Come on in here, Fed. We need you. We miss our Fed.
Nightmare concert. What is that, a rat? I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It looks like a skull upside down, and
I guess that's a cat inside of it?
cat! It's a cat, isn't it?
Yeah, this is an Italian one. Popcorn, the movie.
That don't look too, I can't figure that one out.
Death warmed up.
That's funny.
Piranha 2, the piranha's got wings.
What? The spawning. That's silly.
Burial ground. You have to
Burial
watch it to believe it.
That sounds scary.
The nest. Oh, that's disgusting. Roaches have never tasted flesh until now.
Ooh!
She's just the appetizer.
Do cockroaches bite?
I don't fucking know. You live down in Palmetto Bug Kingdom.
I never got bit by a that I know of. I mean, I guess they could. They've got mouths, but zombie what?
Massacre. 1. Oh no, just Zombie Massacre exclamation point. Zombie Lake.
That's like
Zombie
the
Lake.
bottom one right there.
Landing gear
Zombie
retracted.
Lake. DEFCON 4.
DEFCON.
Oh, there's a classic.
Oh yeah. Children of the Corn.
He who walks behind the rose.
Creepy kids. Kids are creepy. You ever been into like one of those big time, like, you know, an elaborate haunted house and they got kids walking around like ghouls? They're
No.
creepy. Oh, they're creepy. They had that at Universal Studios. They had one of their haunted houses. You could stand there and you look down, there's just like little creepy dead kids standing next to you. It's like, get away from me. This is the scariest part of the haunted house for me. Little creepy kids.
Mausoleum. The nightmare has begun. Possessed by a diabolical force, Susan Walker turns from a happily married young woman to a murderous demon. But she can't remember any of her horrible deeds. The grisly murders of the family gardener, the seduction of the delivery boy, and finally the savage destruction of her husband. There's only one man powerful enough to save Susan from eternal damnation, but he must do battle with the Prince of Darkness, and if he loses, the penalty is death. An excellent horror film with a terrifying conclusion.
1. Engage.
I kind of want to see this one.
I think that was one of the movies they showed up at that cinema pub place I was telling you about. They had a lot of movies they showed, a lot of scary movies. Usually didn't watch them all, but that does sound good. Let's see, 84% liked the movie, so it must be pretty good. A man, Joe Courtner, asked a psychiatrist, Norman Burton, to help his wife, Bobby Bracy, cursed to share her body with a demon.
Mausoleum is actually on YouTube to watch.
Is it? Yes, from 1983, so
Yeah.
it's definitely one of the movies up at that place I was telling you about. Because I graduated in 82 and we were
Frameshift
hanging out.
drive charging.
Definitely one of the movies. Michael Dugan was the director.
Four, three, two,
Slumber Party Massacre.
Looks like
Serenity Falls Demon Sex Scene. I don't know what demon sex scene you're referring to. Sleepaway Camp. Good stuff, Sleepaway Camp.
they saved.
Mud Beach, never seen it. Phantasm. Now listen, I love Phantasm.
There you go.
I think Phantasm is one of... Oh, there's Fed. What's up, Fed?
Yeah, what's that?
Hey, fed.
Just in time for just in time for Phantasm, dude.
Yep.
That movie was like one of the few horror movies as a kid that scared the ever living fuck out of me.
Too. That fucking silver ball.
It wasn't that. It was that fucking tall man.
And that tall man, yeah.
Angus
He was,
Grimm's ass. Yeah, boy.
oh, he was
That shit scared the
horrible.
fuck out of me as a kid.
I couldn't believe it. And why do they keep having to go back in there? I'm thinking to myself, get out of there.
I was like, the ball's easy, man. You just gotta have like a good shotgun and some
Well, they didn't
a
have
triple
a
odd
good
buckshot.
Oh my god. Yeah. I hated the ball and the man. The ball was freaky to me. It just floated around looking for
Those little reanimated corpses, oh, the fucking evil Jawas. Those guys cracked me the hell up.
I know. Jawas. Yeah. That's a great movie.
Oh god, but that shit was like the ball, like at first it was kind of scary, but once you see it like sink into the forehead, it's like thunk. And
I
then
know.
it just starts squirting like a juicer out the front of it.
Yeah. That was
I
from
lost my shit.
1979.
I couldn't even be scared of that thing. I was just like dying laughing. I'm like, oh my god, dude. It sucks your brains.
Distant residents of a small town have been dying under strange circumstances.
But
Young Michael Baldwin, to investigate.
Mhm.
Discovering that the tall man, Angus Grimm, the town's mortician, is killing and reanimating the dead as misshapen zombies. Mike seeks help from his older brother.
Mm-hmm.
See, I know they kept having to go back in there. I'm like, yeah, get out.
Dude, I do gotta say, his older brother, his car, I think it was a '69 Camaro.
Was it?
God damn, that was a beautiful car.
Sure.
I'm sorry, like, I know it's a joke on the internet, but I was like, it ain't gonna be a joke here in the near future. Be like, you really are gonna be able to buy like custom plastic parts for like a few $1,000s.
Yeah, I love the muscle cars. You don't see a lot of them on the road anymore.
Access permitted. Please make
Oh,
your
yeah.
way to landing pad
Because all the people, everybody else is building all their,
Hey, Brian.
super rice rockets and all that shit.
I know. Rockets.
No, I'm like, little 4 and 6 cylinders.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah,
you said
imports.
about motorcycles for some reason.
I'm like, it's been a while since we've had like some good American muscle. Like most of the stuff that's come along,
Oh,
it's like
wait.
everybody thought the Mustangs were cool and shit in
Not
the
true.
80s and 90s, and I'm like, man, those things were garbage.
Not true.
Fucking
Have you
rear
seen-
main seals blow all the time.
Have you seen the 2020 Corvette?
Oh yeah,
Holy crap.
getting back to business.
Holy crap.
But
2.8 seconds, 0 to 60.
yeah, a lot of good it does it for a company that fucking sold their people out to China.
Yeah, well, that's the
Fuck
American
'em.
way.
No, fuck them.
That's the
Oh, yeah.
American way.
Like Ford stepped in. Ford's got my business from here on out.
They're paying for it now, ain't they? Actually, in that car, I think the entry level one starts off at like 68,000, which is relatively low for that machine.
Yeah, Serenity makes a good point though. EMP wipes out shit. Classics will be running great because, solid state electronics.
Yep.
They're hardened against that shit and you can, demagnetize them and fucking get them back up and running.
John Kissel, you got a 74 El Camino right now?
Ooh, nice.
So you got it for $800?
Yeah. Dude, and if you know how to do all your welding, body work, stuff like that, it's like, dude, you could get like something out of a junkyard and rebuild it. Like me, I want to get some old, like, fucked up, try not to make it too rusted out, but like a old Deuce Coupe or something like
That's
that.
the hard part.
Or even like a 57 Chevy or something like that. and,
Yeah.
like, pimp it out with all the modern, powertrain, engine, amenities, and everything else, but still keep
Yeah.
the original like body style and all
Sure.
as much of the original car as possible.
Right. Yeah, it's already hard finding one that's not all bondoed to bejesus.
What's the Stephen King flick with the killer car? Is that Christine?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Killer
And
cars.
Christine.
Killer cars are a
yeah.
lot like Maximum Overdrive.
What was the song it always played?
Oh, I
Ah.
forget.
Why'd you have to say that?
Yeah. Now everybody's gonna be looking it up, including
Oh
me.
yeah. Bad to the bone?
No.
We belong together? I wonder why. Harlem Nocturne. Keep a knocking.
Little bitty pretty one. The Viscounts, Harlem Nocturne, Thurston Harris.
Yeah. Rock and roll is here to stay. Christine Attacks. Bonnie Moroni. Pledging My Love. I think it played. Did it play different songs?
Yeah, that's the one when it was like running people over. Little
Okay.
bitty pretty one.
Now this box
good
art I have
song.
up here is The Gate. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this movie, but this is one of my absolute favorite movies. Like not just horror movies, movies. Absolutely.
Oh, that's a
love this
fucking awesome movie,
Really?
dude.
Yeah, starring Stephen Dorff.
Hmm.
This is a Canadian horror film.
Okay.
It's a great introductory horror film. I think it's pretty good for kids. Like when I introduce my son and daughter to horror, I'll probably start with movies like The Gate.
Okay.
Because it's scary, but it's not like
The one from 1987, right?
the what from 1987? The Gate?
The Gate.
Yeah. The Gate. It's a
I
horror
was
movie.
looking it up.
With Stephen Dorff. Yeah, he's like 10 years old. So The Gate, all right. Now my wife's asking me what The Gate's about. So, all right. I'll summarize The Gate here.
This dopeness.
I got it
Let me
right.
find a quick summary here. The Gate,
When
1987.
when Al, Krista, Denton, and Glenn's Stephen Dorff parents.
See, I got this. 12-year-old Glenn has a nightmare of finding his home abandoned, then going into his treehouse, only for it to be struck by lightning and collapse. When he wakes, he finds his backyard. Workers have cut down the same tree from his nightmare and unearthed a geode. Glenn returns with older friend Terry to investigate. Though the workers attempt to fill the hole left by the tree, Glenn and Terry breach the surface, finding a large geode. Glenn catches a splinter and leaves a small amount of blood behind. Glenn's parents leave for town for 3 days, placing his 15-year-old sister, Alexandria, or Al, in charge. While Al throws a party, Terry and Glenn break open the geode after discovering it has strange writing on it. It left strange writing on a notepad, and they read the incantations aloud. They go downstairs just as the partygoers are playing a levitation game. Everyone is shocked when they levitate Glenn. They do, light as feather, stiff as a board, and he actually fucking levitates away, and he's up in the ceiling, and they can't pull him down. That night, Glenn sees his bedroom wall stretching, and Terry embraces an apparition of his dead mother that turns out to be Glenn's dog, Angus, who dies as a result. The next day, Terry brings a heavy metal album to Glenn's house with lyrics based on the Dark Book. He believes the hole in Glenn's backyard is a gateway to a domain of evil gods and speculates their actions opened it. He concludes the only missing element would be to deposit a sacrifice into the hole. Unknown to them, a friend of Al's dumps Angus, the dead dog's body, into the hole, completing the summoning. After reading a section from the Dark Book that's supposed to close the gateway, the boys find the hole closed and assume their efforts succeeded. That night, a swarm of moths shatter Glenn's bedroom window.
Close your ears! Close your ears!
She's so funny.
Basically, it revolves around these kids, the Dark Book, the hole in the backyard, and all the fucking crazy shit that goes down because they opened up the gate. But it's a fantastic flick.
Sounds like it's good.
It even
That'll be
still
many
like
years.
the special. Even though the effects in it are like super low tech by today's standards, they're still actually pretty cool. Still to
The
this
effects
day.
in the gate hold up incredibly well because they're stop motion animation for the most part. You're dealing with clay figures that are in stop motion, and they're also guys in costumes too. So there is those little munchkin men, who are like the little demon guys.
Oh, those
They,
little motherfuckers.
Right.
Oh.
There's little claymation ones that are like 2 feet tall, and then there's like dudes in a suit that are like 6 foot tall ones. You know. Well, that's how they did that. The Gate was a great film. Full of all kinds of monsters. The monster at the end is fucking fantastic. The Gate opened in the U.S. on May 15, 1987. It ranked second in its opening weekend. It grossed $4.3 million. Grossed a total of $13.5 million by the end of its run. Lionsgate released a special edition DVD on October 6, 2009, with audio commentary from the director and interviews. They later released a Blu-ray version via their label Vestro Video on February 28, 2017, including commentary from the filmmakers and several featurettes. Review aggregation sites Rotten Tomatoes reports an approval rating of 56% based on 9 reviews and a rating average of 5.44 out of 10. Michael Williamson of the Los Angeles Times, in comparing to the works of Steven Spielberg and Stephen King, wrote, "Whatever minor triumphs it dredges up, it is too hopelessly copycat." In rating at 3.5 stars, TV Guide called it surprisingly effective and refreshingly uncynical horror film that may be too wimpy for some horror fans. Commenting on the film's dreamlike plot, Time Out said it could have been a cult film had the filmmakers abandoned their attempt to try to tie together the bizarre elements. In retrospective review, Odie Henderson of Slant Magazine wrote, "If you can get in touch with your inner 12-year-old, The Gate is a pleasant diversion." Henderson identifies family values as the core theme, though it is subtle enough to not be preachy. Reviewing for DVD for Dread Central, Paul Nicolasi rated it 4.5 out of 5 stars and called it a must-have movie for all horror fans that they can show their kids to introduce them to horror films.
I have to see that. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I don't remember The Gate.
The fucking Gate. Heavy metal records that open up portals. Fucking dead dogs. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. It's great. It's great. It's just fantastic.
All the kids' game. Yeah, it sounds fun.
What's
I have
next
to
here?
watch it.
I've never heard of that one.
Find it.
Enigma.
Enigma sounds familiar.
Yeah, I never heard of this one. Cool box art though.
I think I sort of remember that from the, from looking for movies.
Now here is another classic, Dead Alive.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen Dead Alive?
If I did, I don't remember.
The bloodiest movie in history.
Then you know what? I probably didn't watch the whole thing.
There is so much blood in this movie. It's ridiculous. Just gore and blood and the rat monkey. The motherfucker gets bit by the rat monkey.
Oof.
It's a Sumatran rat monkey.
It sounds terrifying.
And its bite causes you to turn into this like disgusting zombie creatures.
It sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I think his mother gets bit. That's what happens. His mother gets bit and he's like taking care of her and shit. Then there's the priest who kicks ass for the Lord. He does karate and shit.
Landing gear deployed.
Sounds crazy. Thank you, Ghost.
What's up, man? Evil Dead. Yeah, we already talked about Evil Dead.
Yeah, somebody was asking about,
Dude,
something
Ash.
else we already talked about.
Ash
Oh,
taught
wow.
an entire generation of men how not to be complete pussies.
Right? Frakoff is mentioning The House. Remember The House?
Yep. A whole series of them.
Yeah. Now I remember parts of those. The little blonde-headed guy. Can't think of his
Do you
name.
mean the movie House?
Yeah, House.
Yeah, there's House 1 and House 2. I think there's a House 3, but
Probably,
I
yeah.
don't know if House 3 is related. Like, House 2 has nothing to do with House 1.
Okay.
They got nothing to do with each other. House 2 is like a comedy.
Yeah, that's right.
That is
That's
really
right.
bad.
That's right. Yeah, they weren't good. Yeah.
Maximum capacity.
What's his name's in it? Bill Maher.
Yeah. Is that
He
his
plays
name,
like an
Devon?
80s douchebag, so
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty much is himself.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Dash
Wait,
that
what?
back for $2. Thank you, Dash. Big 3. Reanimator. From Beyond. And Return of the Living Dead. From Beyond, great flick. Really weird. It's very Lovecraftian. I do enjoy that one. I recently watched a retrospective from that guy I was talking about, Brendan Tenold. He did a retrospective on From Beyond. Pretty good stuff. Pseudonym points out the greatest American hero dude is in the first House movie. That's absolutely right. As is, what's his name? Richard Mole from Night Court? Bull?
In memory.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, he plays the guy from Vietnam that he had to leave behind.
Right, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Good memory, Pete.
Better than mine. I'm about to kill some more brain cells.
Chud. Chud.
Chuds.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Chuds.
Oh, that. I thought you were talking about like the internet derogatory that a bunch of like really lame ass people call certain groups, but anyway.
Krakoff also mentions the incredible melting man. TJ Swan saying, and the damn Exorcist. Yeah, that was one of my
Heavy
top
traffic
ones.
within the area.
That came out.
Maintain safe clearance.
If you're Catholic, holy shit.
Did you guys ever see Alligator?
I've never seen Alligator.
Oh, I remember that. It was so stupid. But they dropped the alligator in the toilet, right? And
Right, but it's like the quintessential. You want to talk about a really just horrible movie? If Florida Man made a movie, Alligator would be it.
yeah, but it was set in New York, right?
Yeah, it was. Flush an alligator in the toilet. It went in the sewer, got exposed like a Ninja Turtle, and ended up turning into like a 30-foot alligator rampaging around the city, eating people.
Like a 30-foot alligator can fit in most of those sewage systems.
It was awesome.
Christ. Yeah, stupid. That was a stupid movie.
It was one of those. It was so bad. It was good.
Like Sharknado.
Right, because they were trying to take it serious, and I'm like, even as a kid, I was just like, eat that motherfucker. I wasn't even scared. I was just like, eat him, eat him.
Even the eating part was cheesy.
Right.
Right? Funny though. Definitely funny.
Sharknado is like a whole bunch of genres rolled into one. Like you got the fucking porn stars, so you're like half fapping to something that's trying to take itself seriously, while you got giant sharks flying out of a tornado that never stops.
Stupid. You know, going back to the alligators, Brother Malachi saying there's a story that the Museum for the New York City Department of Sanitation that only employees can go to has a stuffed alligator in it that they found in the sewer. I can imagine it really happens, because you know you used to be able to buy like baby alligators. I mean, I don't know if you still can or not, but you know, what do you do with them? They get huge.
Well, it's like there was this one. And people thought this one was like a urban legend or whatever, but yeah, they still occasionally catch them out there in Lake Mead.
Oh yeah. Oh,
No, there's red piranhas in Lake Mead.
You know,
Yeah,
they were-
apparently, like some people that dealt with illegal goods or whatever, we were gonna get raided, so they like went out there and they dumped all these exotic fish, and it was like the piranhas, and I think it was a type of shad or whatever. The
Shad.
a couple things that survived, and then this like it's like a
Splurge.
no, it's like a plant that they grow in the tanks or whatever, but
Oh,
it's super
okay, yeah.
invasive and fucks everything up.
Oh.
But yeah, they still find occasionally out there, though, somebody will catch a fucking piranha and like freak the fuck out.
I can imagine. Did you ever see that it was like, God, I can't remember where it was on, but the guy was showing what makes piranhas attack, and he actually stepped in a tank with them and stuff.
Yeah, like most of the time it's just blood.
Just blood, yeah.
As long as you're not bleeding or anything.
Right. They don't bother you.
Yeah,
It's
there's...
just blood. Man, they can clean an animal down to the bone quickly though if there's enough of them.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much like what they evolved to do, was like when things died and fell in the river, they'd eat them.
Yeah.
So that they wouldn't,
They
and,
made
you
it, like,
know, they made sure you didn't get rot and stuff like that in the water
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So everything else didn't, poisoned water because something was rotting in it.
Right?
So, they had, like, piranha's got its place in the food chain and the ecosystem. Just know your role. Don't go in the water with them if you're bleeding.
Exactly.
Otherwise you're gonna have a bad day.
A really bad day. TJ Swan saying the toxic Avengers.
Mm. Dude, like, there was because there was one fish store that was in North Las Vegas where I grew up, and I used to go over there because dude actually had a license. He was I guess did stuff with the police or whatever. Anyway, he got a special permit. He had a red piranha in his store for years.
Really?
Like he used to feed it hot dogs and shit.
They would eat the hot dogs, huh?
Yeah, but
No,
yeah, it was
bloody.
like, no, most of the time it was just like, it was just real kind of chill fish.
Brackoff's talking about Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. I vaguely remember that. Forced perspective, right? They used for that movie. That was an old movie, right?
Hmm.
Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Yeah, and didn't they do like a really cheesy remake, I think in the like 70s or 80s?
Well, I think so, and that's what I said. They were using that forced perspective to
If
make,
I remember,
make them
Jeff
huge.
Goldblum was in it.
I
wanna
would
say.
doubt it. Sounds like a movie right up his alley. Let's see. Look it up.
Hey everybody, it's Tom Connors.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How you
Yeah,
doing?
what's
man?
up,
Good to see you.
dude?
Hey,
I seen you guys are talking about monster movies.
welcome.
Mhm.
Yes, we
Or
are.
monsters
Monsters
specifically.
tonight. All kinds of monsters, horror movies. We didn't even get into like real monsters yet. I've just been talking about horror movie monsters since the start.
Good, my cred obviously went through. I showed you how I had a monster fetish, so he let me in.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I actually thought about sending it to you before I started it. I was like, he's probably doing something.
I would have been perfect timing actually. I was on another stream before, but that was just because I had nothing better to do. I didn't even see you guys were live because you know how freaking YouTube is lately.
Yeah, nobody's showing up
Nice.
lately. It sucks.
I'm not getting any notification, especially for Jesse streams. I never see him or Feds.
Like you guys just showed up for me when I popped in there a little bit ago, and it said you guys had already been going for almost like 2 hours. I'm like, shit, what the hell?
Yeah. Everything's running on automation right now.
Yeah, stupid shadow banning BS and
And
crap.
then there's that.
Yeah. Well, the demiurge is not quite fully aware yet, so.
But yeah, I sent Pete a picture of my full-sized striped gremlin puppet to prove to him.
Right?
Very good looking.
Gizmo was laying next to him, but he fell over.
Oh. Well, that'll get you in here for sure.
I thought so. I mean, I had a lot more if I had to, but that was like the creme de la creme. I'm like, if this doesn't get me in this conversation, I don't know what will.
Nothing. ploy.
So which one are we talking? I heard a 50-foot woman when I come in.
Yeah, I
yeah.
just looked that one up. That was actually
Daryl
a
Hannah,
movie.
didn't she do a remake or something like that of that?
That's what Fed was saying too about the remake.
I thought so, but I just looked it up and it said it was a 1993 television remake.
Yeah, it was like on Showtime or something like that, I think.
Yeah, it was. I think I watched it like once late at night. And it was fucking absolutely terrible.
I think it's more. It was meant to be more of a parody of it, but yeah, I vaguely remember. I think either it premiered on Showtime or it was straight to
Right.
video or something like that, cable kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't remember, yeah.
Like, cause I remember the only reason I remember it is because right after that one, I found another station and I'd never seen this in my life and was just like completely taken aback. They had like a whole marathon of the original Thunderbirds.
It might have even been Fox that was on. The Daryl Hannah one. I can't remember now, but anyway.
It was Daryl Hannah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 99% sure I've seen it too. Yeah, I know the one you guys are talking about. Yeah.
Yep. That's funny. That's when she was.
But that's what I'm saying. They were having fun with the whole thing. Like I said, that one seemed to be like more of a parody. Well, the original was kind of a parody if you look at kind of all the monster movies at the time.
I don't think they meant it that way.
No, I don't think they meant it to be serious, but yeah.
Dude, but those were awesome movies back in the day. Those old black and white ones with like giant ants and spiders and all that shit.
Oh, I love monster movies.
Oh, just all the kaiju stuff like scared the shit out of you as a kid.
Well, I seen you guys were talking about Gate before too, and that's got some great monster effects in it.
I remember seeing even Beauty and the Beast was really scary as a kid to me. When she first goes, the original one where she first goes in the castle, and you guys remember that, the original one? I forget what year that was. It was actually really, I mean, for
It was like a live action one, wasn't it?
yeah, it was scary.
Oh, is that like a BBC one or something like that? Maybe.
Oh, let me see. I can find
I think I know the one you're talking about too. And then I remember they did a TV, like a modern take on it with Linda Hamilton and what's his face who plays Hellboy.
Oh yeah, Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman.
Yeah. Trying to find it here. I mean, it's all the original ones. I mean, the the cartoon. Animated.
Oh, maybe it was a fairy tale theater kind of thing. Serenity Falls says. I think I know. Yeah. Was that what it was? Maybe it was PBS or CNS. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was from. Let's see. Dark Twisted Fairy Tales, Beauty and the Beast is based on. There's something that wasn't there in the Disney film. Yeah, that original movie was scary. It was dark. I can't find anything on this original movie though.
Was CBS? I was gonna say CBS, but I wasn't sure. Ghost Turd said it was CBS. Yeah, I don't know why I remember this stupid shit.
Yeah, this one's right up our alley, everybody. A lizard in a woman's skin. Set in a wealthier part of London, a lizard in a woman's skin. Crafty, contrived tale. A story of love and lust, of blackmail, murder, and intrigue in the ranks of the wealthy, where anything is possible.
How much did this predate V by?
Oh, I'm not sure. I would assume by a bit.
Well, it says 71, so at least 10 years,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
71.
10, 11, 12 years, yeah.
Looks like Sigourney Weaver there. Or is it her?
It does kind of look like her, but I don't think she was acting then. Was she?
No, she'd have been young, right? I don't know, but look at the left side of the face.
Because she's in her 20s in Alien, isn't she?
I have no earthly idea.
Yeah, A Woman in a Lizard Skin is an Italian Giallo film.
It
Giallo?
looks like her though, doesn't it, Pete? Look on the left side. That left side, no, the fucked up side.
I gotta agree, it kind of looks like Jamie Lee Curtis, though.
Yeah,
too.
it does.
Oh yeah, it does actually.
Yeah, there's no American actors at all in this movie.
Services at the starport are constantly being updated. Remember to visit every time you
I don't
pass
remember
through
that
the system.
film.
I'm like, I probably dated one of her granddaughters.
For reals?
Possibly, we're fed.
No, not the actress, the lizard woman.
Oh. I think we all have.
Yeah, we just don't know it.
At one point, that cold-blooded bitch, that was probably a lizard lady.
They're like, I got your DNA. I'm done with you. Go away.
Like,
It
guys,
looks
I need a
like there's a
refill.
controversial scene in this film with dogs. This film is perhaps most famous for a scene in which Mrs. Hammond opens up the door to a room filled with dogs that are apparently being experimented on. The dogs are cut open with their hearts and guts still pulsating. This scene was so graphic and realistic that several crew members were forced to testify in court to disprove the accusation that the dogs were real. Carlo
I
Ran,
suppose back then, yeah.
a special effects artist, saved Felucci from a 2-year prison sentence by presenting the fake dog props in court to a seemingly unconvinced jury. It was the first time in film history
Oh, it was Rambaldi who did it?
had to prove his work was not real in a court of law.
Rambaldi went on to do a lot of good shit.
Yeah. Rambaldi. So that was the first time in a court of law you had to prove your work wasn't real. A lizard in a woman's skin. Very interesting. Very fun fact about that film. Fun fact I didn't know. Didn't even know the film existed until today.
Wow.
Oh, Death Spa.
I'm gonna have to look
I've seen
for
that stupid thing.
I do recall this cover art. They really do. It's a lost art. It really is. It is truly a lost art. The covers of VHS movies.
It's sad when you'd rather have the poster of the movie but not own the movie. Because this movie is horrendously bad.
See, now, is it messed up that I want to watch it even more now?
Now, Zombie, that was
Yeah,
Ghoulies.
Please.
Did you guys already talk about like Ghoulies and stuff like that?
No. We touched on Ghoulies because it came up in the thing, but we didn't really get into it.
Now, this is actually Dawn of the Dead recut, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Zombie?
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
I think so. Let me look.
And refrain from obstructing other docking areas.
Zombie, 1979. Zombie 2, The